Before we start today's show, we're in a sub-battle with a couple of our other Western Conference channels here at Chat Sports. As you can see, the Los Angeles Lakers report, they're leading the way. They've picked up 200 subscribers this week. Mavericks Today at 144. Last month, we picked up 4,000, but this week, it's down. Only 68 subscribers. So if you love the Dubs and you're looking for insightful, informative, entertaining Warriors coverage that comes your way multiple times per week year-round, lock us in and subscribe today. Coming your way on today's Golden State Warriors Today, I'm Chase Sr. Love that all of you are here with us. Let's chop it up and talk some Warriors basketball. Could the Dubs make a trade with the Houston Rockets? What's the latest on Jonathan Kuminga? And then a fresh start trade for the Warriors to potentially consider with a new general manager and president of basketball operations since Bob Myers is no longer with this team. So 3 trade ideas that we're going to dissect here on the docket for today. Let's start with that trade with the Houston Rockets. And we kind of did our due diligence here. We kind of scoured the internet to take a look at what some people were saying, what made sense, what didn't, what trades could actually transpire and come to fruition. Sports Illustrated proposing a trade idea between the Golden State Warriors and the Houston Rockets. And here's what it would look like. And I think this is interesting for a couple of reasons. The Warriors receive Kevin Porter Jr., Jae'Sean Tate, Kenyon Martin Jr., and the number 4 overall pick, then 2 more first-round picks. Interesting because you get a couple of players who can play right now, and then a couple of very, very good draft assets. And then the Houston Rockets receive 2 young players on this Warriors team who might not have a role, or at least in Jordan Poole's case, his role is a little bit in question right now. Then Jonathan Kuminga is looking for more of an expanded role. Now, Kevin Porter Jr. is a solid player. He's been a little bit wonky with his fit with the Houston Rockets. Sometimes he's clashed with the organization to a certain degree. But here's what we do know. This guy's a really, really talented player and a good player, but there's a reason why he doesn't really stick on teams for that long. But 19 points per game this past year. He's not the most efficient offensive player, 44%, but he's certainly exciting to watch and can make things happen. Solid assist man and rebounder as well. And then Jae'Sean Tate is a classic glue guy. A classic role player, if you were to come to the Warriors. Kind of a guy who can have his fingertips on everything, do some things well, 9 points per game, 48% from the floor. You'll certainly take that as a guy who could bolster your depth unit a little bit. And then Kenyon Martin. Name might sound familiar because his pops was an excellent player back in the day with the New Jersey Nets alongside Jason Kidd and Vince Carter when they made that run all the way to the NBA Finals before losing. Kenyon Martin Jr. is a player who's really been able to improve over the last couple of years, and that kind of came to the forefront this past year with 13 points per game on nearly 57% shooting. So, who would win this trade? The Rockets probably get the better talent, but do the Warriors become a deeper team that makes more sense? GSW for the Warriors, HOU for the Houston Rockets. Sound off with what you think down below in the comment section. And another reminder, make sure you subscribe to the channel. We're closing in on 60,000 subscribers here on Warriors Today. When I took over March of 2021, we were at 13,000. So to see how quickly we've been able to grow here, it's been a blast. It's been an honor. As for Jonathan Kuminga, he might demand a trade if the Warriors don't give him a role that he wants to have heading into year 3, because in year 2, it was really Jekyll and Hyde as far as his playing time goes. NBA analysis proposing a trade that would send Jonathan Kuminga to the New York Knicks. Here it is. Warriors receive Obi Toppin, a first-round pick in 2024, and a first-round pick in 2025 because the New York Knicks do have a lot of draft assets at their disposal. And then the Knicks receive Jonathan Kuminga. So Warriors get Obi Toppin, Knicks receive Jonathan Kuminga. Here's what NBA analysis had to say about that deal. It's not all bad. Toppin does have good upside. He's got a high defensive motor, plenty of offensive value in transition. This is a solid young player. He doesn't have Kuminga's potential. That's why the Warriors are landing an unprotected pick and a swap here as well. So what really is of note there is the fact that the Warriors would get a first-round pick and then another protected first-round pick as well. So you can kind of have that hybrid blend of winning right now, but also planning for the future with some good draft assets. And I do think that there's a better player in there for Obi Toppin. Right now, there's not really much of a difference between Obi Toppin and Jonathan Kuminga. Kuminga was a little bit disappointing in his sophomore campaign. So too is Obi Toppin. You keep waiting for a player like this to break out. At Dayton, he was the high flyer, throwing down dunks in between the legs. He's added a little bit of a corner three, but that three-point shot, a little bit too erratic and inconsistent for my liking. But we've seen the Warriors as an organization really maximize a lot of these players. They put them in that player development program, and they become a lot better than what they were initially prior to coming to San Francisco. Could that happen with Toppin? Would you trade for him? Another comment, another answer, another question for you all. T for trade, P for pass. Once again, sound off and let us know with what you think in the comment section. Show off that basketball intellect as well. Today's show is sponsored by our sportsbook partner, BetUS. 125% deposit bonus at chatsports.com/bet. Promo code CHAT125. Game 1 right around the corner in the NBA Finals. You'll also be able to bet on Game 2 if you're coming across this video after Game 1 had taken place. The Nuggets, they have a lot of rest under their belt. 9-point favorites. The over-under for this game, 218.5. But Miami, they've been great in Game 1 so far during these playoffs. Lastly, a fresh start trade. Bleacher Report proposing trades for players that need some fresh starts across the NBA. And of course, that does include a couple of players for Golden State. I love this trade the most out of all of them because I believe that Golden State gets the best player back in OG Anunoby. Raptors get Jonathan Kuminga and Jordan Poole. Kuminga has the upside that the Raptors really like and can mold. They've done a good job of developing players. I think it's kind of like Miami Heat and the Toronto Raptors, like two of the better organizations at developing some of these players that enter the league with things to work on, and they maximize their abilities. So the Raptors get Kuminga, who has so much potential, just needs to put it all together. And then Jordan Poole, we saw last year what he's capable of doing. He can be a 20, 25 points per game guy if he's in that starting lineup. Bleacher Report on why to do the trade. Let's take a look. Whether it was the preseason punch, a zillion early season palming violations, the league figuring him out, or general dissatisfaction with his role, Jordan Poole played like a guy who had a foot out of the door all season. Yikes, that's harsh. His failure to fill a critical playoff niche as the Golden State Warriors' main shot creator behind Steph sealed the deal. The Warriors need depth, someone who will play within their system, and financial relief. And the best way to get some of those things is to trade Poole, who would probably be better off running his own show without a teammate that tried to knock him out. My gosh, Bleacher Report really bringing the heat there on Jordan Poole. I think it was a down year for Poole. I don't think the league figured him out. You got to make shots in this league. Jordan Poole didn't make enough of them, but when Jordan Poole was starting in place of Steph Curry, guy averaged like 24 points per game, and his numbers throughout this past year were not all that bad. Please don't let how he played in the playoffs overshadow the fact that he wasn't terrible this year. 20 points per game. Of course, the field goal shooting numbers and three-point digits, they do have to get on the uptick a little bit. I like OG Anunoby because he's a good all-around player. Jordan Poole is a one-way player. Good on offense, a turnstile on defense. OG Anunoby can really solve some of the defensive issues that Golden State has had this past year. Got to get a little bit better. Games played, a little bit of a concern, but he can do it all on the floor, and he continues to ascend as an offensive player in this league. If you had to pick one, pick a player that you would want on the Warriors. Is it Jordan Poole? Is it OG Anunoby? A very fun name to say. Say it 10 times fast, or type it 10 times fast in the comment section. Yeah. Awesome show today. Appreciate everybody for watching. Don't forget to subscribe. It is Golden State Warriors today. We're going to continue to keep you in the know with all things Dubs all year.